Hi everyone, this is Tanya the Lady Strange. This is going to be the weekly collective reading for the week of January 26th of 2025 to February 1st of 2025. Last week of January already. So where does time go? So with this being said, this is just a collective reading. Take what resonates. Not everything resonates as a general reading. This is an energy situational forecast. Cards to me are no longer predictive as much as the energies are and messages are guidance from the universe, the powers that be, no matter what you may work with or I with, from my guides and the spirits, deities, and entities I work with and walk with, and of course, myself and my gift abilities and my higher self. All in conjunction, everything's energy, everything's connected on some shape or form, as we all are. So again, this applies, great. If it does not apply or resonate with you, that's also fine. Thanks for tuning in and watching. If you're new here, of course, welcome to the Lady Strange, the strangeness in my altar room. And if you're returning, I am eternally grateful for the support, as I love to support others in their creativity. And there you go. I can't talk as usual, and I can't edit it. I'm a bit ungrounded today. It is what it is. Alright, so this week I will be using, I just felt called and compelled to use the Bohemian Gothic Tarot as a tarot deck for the week and for the guide. And I am bringing this one. This was a Christmas gift from my husband. This is the Dark Goddess Oracle by Caitlin McCarthy. She is a fabulous, very creative, and very divine feminine creator of goddess art and other art. I found her prints and stuff originally when I was in Salem at Witch City Wicks, my favorite candle shop and favorite candles of all time, and of course my favorite place that I love to haunt. Hopefully I will get a chance to do so this year once again. I try to go once or twice a year, and for the most part I've been blessed to do so. So this deck is gorgeous. It's got lots of goddesses. It's very diverse in its nature. Now, for the most part, I'm just going to use the keywords. It's got a great little guidebook, and so far I love it. I don't use it all the time, but when I feel compelled to, and I already feel a deep relationship with that. And if you go back and watch my I can't think, altar tour from last year, a couple months ago, you'll see one of her prints on there of the goddess Hel from the Nordic tradition. Wow, okay. So, yeah, just moving through and moving forward. So that's going to be the oracle for this week. So let's see what this collective that this may apply to, what energies, card, or what message should I say? What card represents this collective, whom this may apply for? Their energies, guidance or advisement, or that they embody. The energy they should be possibly using to aid to embody them this week, or represents themselves, their strengths, their weaknesses, and mostly in between, because that's what the human life and experience is, the magic and the mundane. Okay, this one wanted to come out, I was told, from the middle, but jumped out a little bit, so we're going to go on that. What a lovely card. The Queen of Pentacles. This deck is very beautiful and very lusty by Baba Studios. I'm so glad I invested in it and that I got it when the year before in 2023. I am so glad I found this, and it comes in a beautiful wooden box. It is lusty, very artistic, Victorian, speaks of times of old and of old Eastern Europe, as a lot of this was filmed in Prague. And of course I feel a connection with it. It shows spirits, it shows demons, but in vampires, in a very tasteful way. Things that are very like of the nature of Bram Stoker or Edgar Allan Poe. And a lot of people like to use this during the Halloween season, the Samhain season, that fall time. I use it when I feel compelled to, but that's how I am. I love darker, more um, dark, what would be considered more darker leaning decks. Of course, I'm the Lady Strange, and I'm a huge horror fan. If you watch any of my previous videos or you want to check those out, you'll obviously see that, especially during the 31 days of October, you'll see a lot of my decks in strangeness. So, with that being said, this week, this collective is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the court cards can be people in your life, but in this week, since this represents the collective, it is you and me and whom this may speak to, in the energy they're embodying. So this deck, I also read not only what the actual, type of card it is, being the Queen of Pentacles, but this is the energy and embodying and the images and what I am guided to share. So the Queen of Pentacles is saying this week for this collective that if you see, she is kind of angled and you see like a portrait there in the background. You see the color red. Red is a sense of power, knowing your own authority, being comfortable in your own skin, working with your position and what you have earned. The Queen of Pentacles is mature, but she is in a very healthy, empowered, and effective way. She looks back to her past and her roots and foundations of her family and her ancestors, but also what she creates in her home, in her environment, her work, and her truth. She's not afraid to do that, and she's also not afraid to reflect on the past, to heal that, and to take those lessons and wear them as a badge of honor. So this week it's saying, whether you are male or female or however you identify, that doesn't truly matter, as we both have both energies in ourselves, just as nature does, that basically be like the Queen of Pentacles. Sit strong, stand strong, use your past wins and victories, your past fails, mistakes, lessons, and those that you've seen in your life, your ancestry, your family, and what works for you. Don't be afraid to be strong, to be grounded, and to also be practical, but also, like, this gives me a feeling of no nonsense, but also being regal and strong, taking that things that your education and how you can educate others too, and in your resources, and making your environment a better place for yourself and there for those in your life and for that which truly matters. So be like the Queen of Pentacles this week. That's what I'm showing this collective is, and the energy that we are going to embody in this collective, whom this applies to. And now that we got some energies of what this collective is and energies to embody in advice and qualities we all already hold with our badge of honor and empowerment and strength. Let's see what this collective, what we would should know of the energies to be mindful, aware of, to have a effective, empowered, and the best week that we possibly can under our circumstances and our human experience, as there's a lot going on in each of our lives, in the lives around us and the world. But again, we do the best we can for ourselves to support ourselves and those in our lives and what matters. But this is just guidance that will help us along the way, and things that we may want to look out for or to change, or that may underlie. This deck has a lot of underlying energy and different depictions on that, meaning it kind of, things are not what they seem. But that's a good thing when you work with, from across the veil. It's that very type of thing on that. Working across the veil, seeing beyond the illusion, like the Seven of Cups does. To look past that illusion, that fakeness, and what's on the surface and being presented, but looking for the truth and the opportunities and options, and feeling and seeing your way through with emotion and that. So what does this collective need to know? I'm going to get 3 cards. One from the top. First one. We got the 9 of Pentacles. Another pentacle, another earth card. Another grounded in the material, the mundane, things that are tangible, efforts, work, hard work, creation, and that's a wonderful card, as is the Queen of Pentacles energy. Lots that we are seeing here in embodying in the material realm and coming into fruition in things that we have earned, and seeing the fruits of our labor, and in our environment and in our lives, something to be proud of, and something that has wealth and not money, but things that are tangible energies. So I see that. That's a great start for this week. And overall, we got the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands we got last week. And this represented, I used my Thoth deck, my favorite soul deck, but basically that represented the collective last week. Now that represented the energies that we were in the embody and the advice on the good and the not so good tokens to take away from. This is a 7 of Wands this week. This energy is going to be in here. The Wands, of course, are fire, will, motivation, action, will, inspired things, maybe magic, creation if you are a practitioner like myself, or just the fire of desire, as I say, and being willful and taking those action steps. But the 7 of Wands also, of course, speaks of, as you can see, it's kind of, just like I said, this week, it kind of gives me a thing of, we're in defensive mode this week. Be mindful not to remember to stay grounded like those pentacles, but be mindful not to be too angry and too overly willful and defining your boundaries and defending yourself and what you've created. There is going to be things coming at and presented on that, but look to being the Queen of Pentacles and look to the energy of the 9 of Pentacles from how far you've come and what you earned. Don't let the negative parts of the 7 of Wands of being overbearing and over defensive, be healthy with that. That's what I'm saying, as when things come at you, don't let it break through what you've already earned and destroy yourself or your environment or that which you have worked so hard for. And lastly, being drawn to pull one from the middle to go with this, and this is the Empress. Now, I just did mention about creation. Here is our appearance of a minor arcana. Since we have the 2 pentacles for earth and grounded and material realm, effort and tangibility, and then we have the wands of fire and defense, but watching out for being frustration and anger through that, and to ground those energies as they're presented and as life in the world presents itself to us, and maybe how other people present themselves to us. But you got the Empress here. So the Empress speaks, as you can see, the Empress in this one, she wears her crown. We all should wear a crown, whether we're male or female. Personal sovereignty is something that society lacks. We've been all taught not to and conditioned to from birth on, that it's not healthy to be that. That's arrogant, selfish. No, it's not, when your pride and your strength and sovereignty and sticking up for yourself, what you create in your boundaries. As you can see here, I am drawn to the beautiful crown and the beautiful dress the Empress wears. You do see in the background there is a skeleton looming. Like I said, I do see a ray of light in there that's sticking out. And of course, a child, so the adult and the youth. So, creation. So, as I mentioned about that, is there is a lot of creativity in this collective, a lot of strength, a lot of things that they are nurturing and nurturing what they have grown for with the Nine of Pentacles and coming to fruition, but also with the relationships and the nurturing what you're creative. This collective has so much to offer to themselves and to each other and to bring out into the world. It is saying on here to be your own mother or your own friend, your own aunt, and be that to those that matter in your life. You can't be to everyone and everything, but you can be to yourself first and foremost. And then it will trickle out to those around you and therefore to the world, your light. The Empress is creative. She's the divine feminine, as you can see here, meaning beautiful, radiant, strong, just like that Queen of Pentacles here. Very strong, divine feminine energy this week. To be nurtured, empowered, and grounded, and authoritative in a healthy way, and making those results that are coming in with the Nine of Pentacles. And of course, with the Seven of Wands, and not being too overly defensive or aggressive when these harder situations and you need to take action, look at it from a different perspective in the Empress versus maybe being too much of the Emperor type of energy, but more approach and perspective and embodiment of the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. So I see a lot of creation and a lot of things that are coming into fruition, and from there building off a steady foundation. Things are coming more into tangibility in the material, and it's going to be a lot more of a fruitful week this week. Fruitful in emotions, relationships, potentially finances. There'll be a little relief with that, and especially on the home front. And potentially the work front. That depends. I did get that in there for some of you. Now let's see what the Dark Goddesses would like us to know. In conjunction to clarify this message and to assist this collective to better understand the energies that are presented and being guided towards for this week. Okay, if I can pronounce the goddess names, I will. If not, then, well, I'm not going to do it any injustice. So again, this one, it is Freya, and it is, yeah, the light in here is bad in my other room. It was what I thought it was. Complexity. Look at how beautiful that is. Again, these decks, first time pairing them together and having them speak with each other. But I thought they would be great in their type of energy, their type of approach, and that nice Victorian Gothic feel. So we got complexity. That's where I believe that Seven of Wands really comes into and clarifies and goes with that. As the complexity of life and circumstances and making sure we're paying attention to what we have seen and what is present in the mundane world. And again, not being so push and jumping the gun, as they say, before you have all the facts, or realize that until you have actually nurtured your perception and circumstances. And I am drawn to get one more, and that's going to be from the bottom of the deck. And it is Circe, or Kirke, because I guess that's how it's pronounced in Greek, as they don't do C's, but it's Circe. One of the first witches. such a magical being. I respect her highly. I have not really worked with her, but I respect her history, her mythos, and I do feel a connection, as I do feel a connection a lot with the Greek pantheon and the underworld, as I do many other things. This is a beautiful deck. Again, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, and checking out Caitlin McCarthy's art. If you do like beautiful decks and you want to invest in something, the Bohemian Gothic and this one. This one's mass market. Bohemian Gothic, not so much inexpensive, but the quality and craftsmanship, yes. As is the quality and craftsmanship for this for a mass market. So Circe in this says, manifest. Appropriate. Manifest with that Empress. And with that Queen of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles. So despite the complexities of life and the Seven of Wands and being challenging and on guard and feeling that you may be forced into a corner to take action, remember to look at things from the lens of the Empress and what you created, what you're nurturing, and what you want to nurture, and taking that calm, mature, resolute energy of your experience in history. And you don't want certain histories or patterns to keep rearing their ugly head or repeating, but to nurture and heal what you've already created in your foundations and to let go what does not. Life is extremely complex as its human experience is, but it's all about approach and reapproach. Something doesn't work or something happens. Give grace and compassion like the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles to get to where she has, and that's your energy, but also in what you have created. And don't be too aggressive, and look at the complexities with what you have manifested and what you want to continue to bring forth and manifest. So this week is going to be a very good week, I feel. Just don't let the Seven of Wands energy overwhelm the circumstances, but around it, for the most part, we have very grounded earthly energy with a lot of love, healing, and empowerment and strength and will and perception. That's what's going to get us through this week. Remember to support each other and what truly matters. Again, don't try your best not to jump conclusions with what's happening in the world or happening to you potentially or under the surface. Again, it's all about reflection. Remember to reflect on yourself and self-care and self-empowerment and sovereignty. And with that being said, if you like this reading, any of it resonates with you, I would love to hear that. Please comment please comment below. And if you have any other questions, please feel to do so. And I would love if you liked and subscribed to my channel to help it grow, to know that I'm reaching others as they reach and inspire me. And with that being said, stay strange.